Thank you for clicking on this site. Our investigation has proven this to be 100% true. Please stay until the end or click on the end to find out the truth. Thank you.
When I moved to the Salvation Army Southview Heights on March 1, 2021, I just came to thank the movers and leave to grab food next door. But to my surprise, I was told that I could not leave my room and would be locked in my room for 2 weeks with no food in my room and no TV. Twice a day for 2 weeks, they brought food for me. It was okay for everyone to come into my room, but I could not step 1 foot outside my room for 2 weeks. I realized that when God expelled Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, they found themselves in the Salvation Army. I've been told that the Salvation Army operates independently, impervious to external opinions or criticism, as they have their unique methods of operation. As I started talking to the other residents, I discovered that living in this place is known to be challenging. It's even called a kindergarten for older adults. I found out that staying in your room with the door closed was the safest way to go, especially for women who live here. Certain individuals see the Salvation Army as an important resource. The situation here is deteriorating rapidly. So, during supper on March 25, 2024, management issued a letter requesting all tenants to install a security camera system in their apartments. Despite being brought here to die, I had complete faith in the Salvation Army's ability to give me the best treatment and care. To my surprise, I found out that the Salvation Army Southview Heights is an assisted living residence that does not offer care. Workers are restricted from assisting and are instructed to contact emergency services in the event of a fall, with tenants also discouraged from aiding one another. Unfortunately, when I assisted a resident in a wheelchair down the hallway, she was subsequently confined to her room. At the Salvation Army complex, there are 2 sides, the Salvation Army Southview Heights side and the Salvation Army Southview Terrace side. The terrace side does not require guests to wear masks, but the Heights side does. Despite sharing the same dining area and chapel, the Salvation Army is a street that only leads in one direction. They brought us here with the intention of our demise. They will feature your photo on the board when you successfully achieve your goal. On 4 occasions, the Salvation Army instructed me to avoid socializing with staff members. This directive was given by both my workers and the building's manager. A town hall meeting was held by the Salvation Army for all residents prior to Christmas this year. Do not engage in social activities with the staff. I have an interesting anecdote to share. A Christmas box is put together annually for the staff. Over $4,800 was in the box this year, which is quite impressive. Plus, the tenants pray for the staff twice every day. This money is a result of contributions from the 133 tenants and over 500 family members. While this is admirable, the tenants express their distrust in the management's ability to count the money accurately. Consequently, 2 tenants were required to be present during the counting process. I have an interesting tale to offer. Each tenant must pay $26.20 per month for a landline phone. These phones get up to 4 calls per day, primarily originating from telemarketers and fraudsters. In response to numerous tenants falling victim to such deceit, certain residents took it upon themselves to affix notes on each door, serving as a precautionary warning. I've been here for 3 years. Thank God, the management finally acknowledged the gravity of the situation and distributed a letter to all occupants the following day. Before I arrived at the Salvation Army, I received monthly benefits exceeding $300 for rent through my enrollment in the Shelter Aid for Elderly Renters, SAFER, program. This program was a lifeline for me, ensuring that I could afford a secure and pleasant place to live, as well as medical care, as an older person on a fixed income. This program compensated me for my pharmaceutical coverage. Because I currently live in the Salvation Army, and my doctor prescribed an outside pharmacy, pharma care only covers 75% of my prescriptions. I now pay 25%. The Salvation Army advised me that if my doctor used the Salvation Army pharmacy, I would not be required to pay anything. My pharma care bill is $467.87 for January 1st to December 31st, 2023. Because I moved into the Salvation Army, the money formerly allotted by SAFER to me has been transferred to cover the Salvation Army's expenditures. Unfortunately, this essential benefit to me has been terminated. So, there isn't any money in my bank to pay for my pharma care. The SAFER statement suggests that the Salvation Army is collecting funds in the names of tenants who are unaware of SAFER, which stands for Shelter Aid for Elderly Renters. This program provides financial assistance to eligible elderly tenants on fixed incomes to help cover the costs of their monthly rent. However, the fact that none of the tenants are aware of SAFER raises concerns about transparency and communication. before I arrived at Salvation Army Southview Heights. I had a complete evaluation. The Salvation Army painstakingly examined every part of my background, hoping to get extensive information about my personal history, as well as all tax and financial information. When you move into the Salvation Army, they will only accept direct deposits. The Salvation Army takes control over your bank account, your medical records, and everything in your life. The Salvation Army says, "Do not worry, we will take care of everything for you." On March 1, 2021, I moved into the Salvation Army. My monthly government check was $1,614.78. The Salvation Army takes 70% of the whole amount before deductions. Plus cable, $30. Telephone, $26.20. Hydro, $18. My total rent on March 1, 2021, was $1,215.58. The Salvation Army says you must file your income taxes with the CRA every year to be eligible for a publicly subsidized income-tested client rate. As a diligent and meticulous individual, I have consistently filed my taxes with utmost accuracy year after year, maintaining an exemplary record of 100% compliance. On October 10, 2023, the Salvation Army stated that I made $26,290. On October 10, 2023, the Salvation Army informed me that my assisted living price for January 1 will be $1,533.58 plus cable, $30. Telephone, $26.20. Hydro, $18. My worker told me, "If you can go to A&W, you can afford your rent. So, I will not help." Even after the bank said, "You only collected $1,614.78 per month." The Salvation Army would not do anything about it. So, I phoned the CRA, Tax Services, and they said, "Sorry, we overcharged you. You only collected $1,614.78 per month. That does not add up to $26,290. So, we will fix it." Then on October 14, 2023, the Salvation Army sent me a letter. The Salvation Army said my assisted living rate on January 1 would be $1,143.86 plus cable, $30. Telephone, $26.20. Hydro, $18. Then on December 27, the Salvation Army said my assisted living rate on January 1 would be $1,275.28 plus cable, $30. Telephone, $26.20. Hydro, $18. My monthly government check is $1,614.78. I was told that the Salvation Army does not care what my bank says. This is their letter. On January 9, 2024. Dear Mr. Peterman, I am writing to let you know that you will be charged a monthly rate for your assisted living unit. $1,275.28 plus $74.20 total $1,348.48. People here warned me not to trust the Salvation Army. So, I gave them a money order for $1,218.06 for my January rent. On January 3, 2024, the Salvation Army tried to take $1,607.78 out of my bank. My monthly government check was $1,614.78. The Salvation Army was demanding everything except $7. I am told that this is the norm for the Salvation Army. The individuals here were completely correct. It was a widely acknowledged fact that this outcome was inevitable. The check bounced because there were insufficient funds in the bank. This cost me $48, even though I tried to put a stop payment on this rent check. The Salvation Army varies what they take out each month, so I can't put a stop payment on the rent since I'm not sure what it will be. So, this costs me $48 every month. My worker told me if I can go to A&W I can afford the rent. On March 26, 2024, I provided the Salvation Army with a money order totaling $2,436.12 for March and April rent. After I paid my March and April rent, my bank balance was $50.37. On April 1, 2014, the Royal Bank of Canada took over my HSBC bank. Every time I give the Salvation Army a money order for my rent, they always attempt to withdraw the rent again on the 1st of every month. Surprisingly, the Royal Bank granted me an overdraft. On April 1, 2024, the Royal Bank processed a rent check from the Salvation Army for $1,349.48. I paid my rent in full on March 26, 2024, with a money order from HSBC. The Salvation Army charged me double the rent without any prior notification or explanation to the state. On top of that, the bank charged me an additional $10. The Salvation Army did not say anything to me. So, on April 26, 2024, I got a money order for May's rent for $1,218.06. On April 29, 2024, I handed the money order over to the Salvation Army to pay for the May rent. Still, they did not say anything about my last month's rent. On May 1, 2024, the Salvation Army attempted to withdraw $1,349.48 from my bank account, resulting in a $45 charge. This marks the third time they have tried to collect rent for May 1, 2024. On April 1, 2024, the Royal Bank approved an overdraft payment of $1,349.48 for them. Then, on April 29, 2024, I provided them with a money order of $1,218.06 for the rent. Additionally, on May 1, 2024, the Salvation Army made another attempt to withdraw funds from my bank account, resulting in a $45 charge. What should I do? The Salvation Army wants everything. My pharmacare bill is $467.87 for January 1 to December 31, 2023. Because I cannot pay this bill, I've been advised to relocate so I can buy my medicine. The government only pays me $1,614.78 each month. The Salvation Army is trying to take everything. Should I move?
P.S. May 7, 2024. Today I was given a letter that reads: Robert Peterman, rent per month. Your base rent is $1,225.28. Additional costs: hydro $18, cable $30 and telephone $26.20 equals $75.20 per month. Your total rent is $1,349.48 per month. Check amounts for March and April in the amount of $2,436.12, but additional costs were not added to the rent. Check amount received for May for $1,218.06. But the additional cost was not added to the rent. You owe 3 months of additional costs, hydro, cable, and telephone, for $222.60. June's rent will be taken only from the bank. Southview will not accept checks for the rent at the end of May. Your June rent is $1,349.48 and $222.60 for the 3 months of additional costs.
We have been told by other tenants that this is the norm in the Salvation Army. Most people in Salvation Army care homes have their life savings in the bank. The Salvation Army does not give out statements, so most people here do not have a clue what is in their bank. And very few people here even see their bank statements now. The Salvation Army is in more than 20 countries. Thank you for watching.